Hey guys, so it's us again with Let's Grow Adoption. I'm Michelle.
I'm Brianne.
And so we just want to tell you guys kind of a little bit of how we came to adoption for our families.
So this is our second video. I'm so excited for you to hear Michelle's story because that's really what drew my husband and I into adoption even more, was being encouraged by them and hearing how adoption had touched their life.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So my husband and I actually started dating when I was 17 and he was 23. So a bit of an age difference. But we actually only dated 10 months and then we got married. But throughout the time we were dating, we had always talked about adoption. We hit all the big stuff. You have 10 months, you got to knock it all out. And so we talked about if it ever came to a point where maybe we'd have to do in vitro or something, then we wanted to adopt. And that's kind of a weird conversation for a 17-year-old to be having, but we had it. And so we got married, and after being married for about 2 years, we decided, hey, let's try to have a kid, because that's what everybody else was doing, so let's do it. And so we tried for a year, probably like to the day, and I was not pregnant. So
because you're not patient.
I am not patient. No, not patient. So I made an appointment. We got in there, and because they won't see you before a year. I'm sure some of you have figured that out. And so they all thought I was crazy because I'm 20 then, and they're thinking, okay, chill out, woman. But so we went in and we both got tested, and we actually found out between things of both of us that it wasn't going to happen, and I wasn't going to get pregnant no matter how long we tried. So it was a hard evening when we found that out, because I went in not wanting to have my husband feel bad about things, and then I didn't want to feel bad thinking that I'd crushed his dreams. But immediately we just started talking about adoption. And so that kind of, I didn't have the feeling of I had to be pregnant. And I think that was just something that God put in my heart just growing up. And the fact that we had that conversation when I was 17.
That makes it easier.
Oh yeah, and so it wasn't like a total flip of life, which is not common for some people. But honestly, from that point, it was 6 months later that we had our son. And then 2.5 years later that we got our daughter. So
you have to show them a picture.
Okay,
because
they are
the
picture.
cutest kids.
They really are. They're stinking cute. So these are my little kids. It's Thomas and Mia. They were playing with a little frog in that picture. But they're just the cutest kids you've ever seen. And they're way cuter than what we would have had. So thank you, Jesus. But really, it's just, we can tell you more about their stories in another video, but we just kind of wanted to tell you kind of where I came from and how we got to that point. And it was because of infertility, but it also wasn't a last decision. It was something that God had been preparing us for that whole time that I didn't know. Of course, you have to go through the process, and then that's what we ended up, and we got some awesome kids. So
that's awesome. I know the first night we heard their story, it just really encouraged us and made us realize how our connection with our kids really can be given to you by God, not necessarily something that has to be a biological connection. So we hope you are encouraged by Michelle's story. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, click subscribe down below. We would love for you to follow us, to share and encourage. Let's grow adoption.